Good evening and welcome back to the Mindful Model Maker. And what I'm going to do tonight, just make a small video just to show you this. This is something that I'm doing for my son-in-law. Actually, he was well into watching the program The Detectorist, so I found it's the same company that does all the figures that I buy for my railway. They got a guy with a detector, so I thought, just right. So I don't know if any of you have seen the Detectorists. It's quite a funny program, actually. It's a kind of a dry humour, but yeah, it is good. So there's a bit on there. I've got some little birds. They're not actual magpies, but in the actual series, you'll see that magpies play a part. I'm not going to spoil any of it. You need to watch it, really, but it is quite funny. I thought it was funny anyway. So he was well into it. So I'm just going to make this little diorama. So what I did, I went to Hobbycraft and bought one of these slivers of wood for £3. And then this is, I know it looks weird, this is a trunk of a tree that's been chopped down, and what I've used is some bits of plastic pipe, cut it up for obviously the tree roots. This is where the branches have been cut off, and obviously a lot of small trunks, when they're cut down like that, they start sprouting again. So there will be sprouting, there will be grass and various other things. So this is it. So what I'm going to do now is just cover this with some mud rock. So I've cut up some very small bits. I've got a dish of water here, and then I'm just going to start putting that on and making this trunk so that when it's all done I can paint it. So once the mud rock starts to get very wet and it kind of melts the plaster of Paris in it, then you can kind of smooth it out. So all I did was I've got it here. I got a tube. I chopped off a piece of that, which is that main bit there. Then the bits going down, the wavy bits, are just bits of card, and I just randomly cut that with a Stanley knife. And the idea of that is to give the illusion of the bark. So that's what that is on there. So as you can see, I'll turn it around. You put it in, so when I paint it, hopefully it will get the kind of shape of the bark on the tree. And these bits sticking out, these plastic bits of pipe. So what I've done, I've cut if you've never used mud rock before, just have a little bowl of water. What happens once you've wet it a bit, the plaster of Paris, and if you keep just rubbing your fingers over it, you can smooth it out. If you don't smooth it out too much, you'll get lots of holes. So you can always just put a little bit more water on it and just brush it out. But it will go rock hard and obviously completely disguise what it's made out of when it's finished. It takes a day or so, I think, to dry. It's a long time since I've really used it, but it's obviously used a lot. Scenic type things for whatever, whether it's model railways or other like wargaming, that type of thing, if you want scenic hills and various bits and pieces. So that's basically what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to carry on with these little bits. It's just best to have lots of little random, I suppose in a sense, a little like building a bit of a dry stone wall. Have lots of little bits ready. You can find that you'll get them to fit, and take your time with it as well, and make sure you get each bit, because if you just lay it across and don't push it into the little indentations, when it's dry it'll just be smoothed over and you'll lose some of the detail. Because that's why I cut them bits in there, to get ridges on it to look like the bark of a tree. Yeah, I suppose I could have looked round and bought a model or something, but it's nice sometimes to model things yourself. And these bits of pipe that are on the base bit here, they represent like tree roots, because as you know, tree roots, they come up through the ground in places. So of course there's going to be grass and various other, I'll use the static grass tool that I've got, which is quite good. So you can make it look quite realistic. So this here's a little project that I'm running with all the other little projects that I got at the same time. But I just wanted to do this for him, just as something as a bit of a laugh. So, because I think he was quite into it. I don't know whether he'll ever buy a detector. I used to have one years and years ago. It wasn't a very thing one, but I did use it, and I took it over a common, and I actually found a load of loose change. It was in the days when there were threepenny bits and things like that, and the old pennies. So yeah, I did find a bit of loose change on over a Tunbridge Wells common, but this was a long, long time ago. So yeah. Because now you got to, I think there are places, I think you can go on the beach and things like that. I don't think you need permission to do that. I don't quote me, but I've got a feeling that that's one of the places where you don't have to have permission. But anywhere else, of course, you've got to seek the owner's permission in order to use your metal detector. But I'm not a leading authority on it, but I think there's enough stuff documented online if you really want to look into it further. So here we go. We're starting now to form that over. It'll look a bit messy until such times as we get it finished and painted. But the fun is in doing all this, really. I like it. And then you can add bits as you go. So if you never use Modrock, you can buy it. I think, yeah, you can get it in Hobbycraft. The only reason I quote that is it's not far from where I live, and I can go and get it more or less instantly. Yeah, you can buy it online, lots of places. So it's basically it's what they use in a hospital when you break a bone, arm, leg, whatever, and they just put it in the water and put it round, smooth it out, and you can kind of model it into a shape. And there we are. So we're getting on with that now. You can see how it's going. Yeah, you can still see holes and various bits, but by the time I've gone over it with perhaps another layer and I lose them holes, or I can just wet my finger like so, and where the hole is there, you can just keep stroking it over until the actual plaster goes down into it like that, and you can smooth it right out. So yeah, so if you've never done it before, it's I quite enjoy it. I've done it for years. Model railway layouts, built hillsides, various bits. So you can make the shape. Obviously, the old days used to use a papier-mâché, strips of newspaper and that. But the other thing with this, even if you form that to start with the old bits of newspaper, you can put this on and it goes hard. So it will go hard because it's plaster. So that's the other thing. You get a strength into it afterwards. So yeah, and you could just play just hours. It's quite a nice little mind relaxing exercise. Really, is just fiddling around with this. But yeah, if the other thing is if you're making any kind of diorama. If, for argument's sake, you were doing the Metcalfe Castle or something and you wanted to put that into a hillside, then you could work all that out, make like card where you're going to put it, put the castle, take the castle out, put the Modrock in, and then blend all your hillsides around it. So it's anything like that you're going to do. It doesn't have to be railway orientated, just any kind of scenic thing that you want to make up. So anyway, there we are. That's beginning to form now, and I'll show you bit by bit as we get on. I may tack it into another video when I'm doing another job on something else, just to show you it. But you'll see the finished article before he does. So there we are. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully that's quite a handy tip if you've never tried it before. Thank you very much. And if you like the channel, please subscribe. There's over, I think, 300 and some odd videos on here now. Can't keep losing count. Covering all sorts of topics, all to do with modelling. Primarily railway, but not all railway, because I'm interested in modelling in general. But model railway lends itself to all types of modelling as far as I'm concerned. Scenic, working on the locos, all sorts of things. So there we are. Anyway, please subscribe if you like it, and if you press the bell, you will get a notification every time I've made a new video. So I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye now.